My wife and I have 3 children in the Findlay City Schools, 12th grader, incoming 9th grader, and a 7th grader. I'm here to respectfully urge the board to maintain or adopt COVID protocols that 1, treat all students equally regardless of their vaccination status, and 2, permit all students to attend without masks in accordance with their own wishes and the wishes of their parent. To be clear, I have no doubts about the risks of COVID-19 to some adults. My own personal rendezvous with COVID landed me in the Blanchard Valley Hospital emergency room twice, and my wife has spent the better part of this pandemic in an immunocompromised state due to her chemotherapy. We are not a low-risk family, and we take this disease very seriously. However, our low-risk children should not, under any circumstance, be subject to masking or vaccination mandates or coercion due to concerns about high-risk adults, of which I am one. Vaccines are currently available to adult members of the community, including teachers and staff, and they are also available to older children, as a previous speaker has mentioned. Given this availability, all children must be allowed to learn this year in a normal environment, and parents must be free to make decisions about masking and vaccination for their children, full stop, no exceptions. Critically, we ask that the schools not treat any child differently based on their vaccination status or willingness to wear a mask. It is not right to subject a child to second-class status based on parental decisions about a disease that does not pose any statistically significant threat to the child or other children when vaccines are available to many people at high risk. I ask that Findlay City Schools not subject unmasked or unvaccinated students to additional testing, distancing, tracing, or separation. While distancing and tracing protocols may appear reasonable on their face, in practice, they are neither reasonable nor effective, and the district should not impose them on any student this year. I ask that you also bear in mind, I'm not a doctor, unfortunately I'm a lawyer, but I will, I know if the tomatoes come out, right? Please also bear in mind that the history of scientific and medical progress is marked by the introduction of treatments that were later determined to present significant health risks that were not obvious at the time of introduction. America's courtrooms are full of plaintiffs alleging long-term harm due to yesterday's miracles. Reasonable parental caution regarding new medical treatments, such as a coronavirus vaccine, reasonable parental caution is not a flat earth position, and I beg the district to not enact policies that have a coercive effect regarding those treatments, regardless of federal guidance, which has been all over the place since day one. In short, concerns for high-risk adults should not drive policy regarding low-risk children, and we are thankful that children have by and large been spared in this pandemic. But concerns about high-risk adults shouldn't drive policy in this pandemic, especially in light of what is now fairly widespread vaccine availability. Parents should be free to make reasonable health decisions for their children with respect to a disease that does not meaningfully endanger them without fear of subjecting their child to ostracism, inconvenience, and disparate treatment at school. And finally, we ask that decision makers respect reasonable parental caution regarding new medical treatments for children. In short, I believe it's time to go back to the old rules, which is stay home if you're sick and go to school if you're not. Yes. I thank the board for its time.